What's up, y'all? Welcome back to our Instagram page. My name is Soliel Lindsey. I'm the owner and CEO of Soul Rise Essentials, and we are live. Y'all, I forgot to change my earrings. I think I want to change my earrings. This is not what this video is about, but I'm going to make this change real quick. What's up, Julita girl? You are on time. You gotta be on time, sis. Give me just a second. I'm going to do a quick intro before I join, and it's so nice to see y'all. Oh my gosh. Hi, Mary. Hi, Julita. Hi, Andrea. Nice to see you. I hope you're feeling well. Hope you're feeling refreshed and healing up and all that good stuff. I think I want to do these earrings. Y'all know I love a good hoop. Anyways, I'm so glad that y'all are able to join me today. If you are watching the replay, thank you so much for joining. I hope something that is said here sparks you, encourages you, inspires you. I hope you are educated. I hope you feel connected. I hope you feel a sense of community. And welcome to the Soul Tribe. So I'm excited. I already have our guest, Julita. She's already joined in. She's ready. She's present. She's on time. Shout out to all of y'all for joining us. It's going to be an amazing conversation. I kind of feel emotional already. I'm not sure what that is all about, but I'm authentic as it gets. So if tears start rolling down, whatever, y'all, we're just going to let it flow, okay? So let me grab my notes because I always do a live and I always look back and I'm like, I forgot to say that. So I wrote some things down. So just give me 1 second and we're going to get started. I do need to say this because we touch on a lot of topics with the Soul Seek conversations that are pretty deep, and they are not your traditional conversations that people are openly having on the internet, you know? So I just want to make sure that we're responsible and holding stewardship over what we share on this platform, wherever it may reach you. I just want to say that we're not trained professionals. We are just simply people. We're people. We've lived our experiences, and we can only speak to what we've been through and the tools and mechanisms that we've used to heal what we're going through and what we have gone through. So I just want to make sure everyone knows that nothing that is going to be shared today or with any other Soul Seek conversation or any past Soul Seek conversation, it's not to treat, to diagnose, but we're just real people sharing our stories and hope that you get something from it. So just make sure that you always do your research and consult with your therapist, counselor, or a trained professional on these topics. So I definitely want to get that out of the way. And I also want to let you guys know that sometimes some of these conversations may be triggers for you. So I just want you to be mindful and be responsible with what you're consuming on the internet at all times, and especially on our page. I can only changing outside, at least where I live. Soul Rise Essentials is based in Virginia, and it's getting a little chilly outside. So I've been working on some things in the lab. Shout out to those of you that have given commentary and it kind of been like our little eyes and ears and voters behind the scenes giving your feedback. I'm so excited to be able to share with you all some new merchandise. So it's the hat. Some of y'all know the hat that we launched our store with. It said Pack Light, but it had a big old sunshine over the top of it, and it was on a black hat. I have a gold hat. Anybody in here, VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University people, shout out to y'all. You're going to love this hat. I need you to sign up for all updates on our website. So get on our newsletter because the newsletter will be the first person to know when we launch. So just go to our website, soulriseessentials.com. That's SOL, Rise Essentials with an S.com. And we have a special code for anybody listening today. We're going to share that code at the end of the video. Good morning, Kiara. Thank you for joining me. Good afternoon, I should say. So let's get into it, y'all. One more thing before I bring Julita on real quick. We have a new shirt too. So this shirt is new. You know, our original shirt is white and it's short sleeve. I have a long sleeve shirt. Shout out to y'all that are working and watching. I want to debut our next drop in the store. So this is our black Pack Light t-shirt. Oh, you got to see it. And it also has this detail on this side. So this is my right shoulder. I have the camera flipped and it says Pack Light. So that's it, y'all. I hope you love it. And I got one more surprise. I got to get all of this out of the way because it's about to get juicy and it's about to get heartfelt up in here. But I want to get some stuff out of the way first. Do y'all see this? This is a baby toddler t-shirt. So we have toddler t-shirts too. So y'all just be on the lookout. If you're excited about this hat, if you're excited about our new shirts, if you're excited about our new toddler and kid shirts. So we have toddler sizes 3T, 4T, and then we go to youth, small, medium, and large. Hi, Quita. Thanks for joining. So y'all, one last thing, okay, guys? With Soul Rise Essentials, because I don't think I've said that. I got too excited. Who are we, right? Soul Rise Essentials, we offer unisex affirmation apparel and accessories for the entire family. So what I just showed y'all was a new thing that we just started. We only focused on adult shirts before, but as you can see, in case you're just now joining, we have baby t-shirts, baby and youth t-shirts as well. So the adult one has this detail on the side here, and the children's one just says Pack Light here on the front. So we offer affirmation apparel for men, women, for resilient people on the grow. We also use our platform to spread the good news about global mental wellness, which is why we're here today. So we're on episode 2 of the Soul Seed Conversation, and we have a special guest, Julita. So Julita, I got all of my housekeeping stuff out of the way, and I'm going to join you in here. Let's figure out how to do this. I think you may have to request to join in, Julita. I want to introduce Julita to y'all. And y'all know, if y'all don't know, I'm new to Instagram. I hadn't been on Instagram for like 6 years. So all of this is new. I want to welcome all of y'all for joining. Thank you so much for being here. Give me 1 second. We're going to bring Julita into... There we go. I got a request. Come on to the concept while Julita's coming on. What's up, girl? Oh, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello.
How you doing this morning, this afternoon?
Yes, I can hear you. You can't hear me? Okay.
I can hear you.
You know, I'm good. How's it going?
It's busy. I had an appointment this morning. I almost made it late because of that person, but I am here. Okay? I'm here.
Listen, I get it.
Are you excited to be with us this morning?
Yeah.
Are you
think
nervous?
It's gonna be good. Maybe.
Okay. Well, if you are, it's totally natural. You got some people that's saying hey to you. Chelsea Jackson
Hey,
says
Chelsea.
hey, Ju.
Hey,
Shout out to everybody that is joining us. So I'm gonna give them a quick background on how we even know each other. So I met Julita through a friend, our friend Marion, and we just have seen each other in passing at like birthday parties and things like that. And you are a very brave person because we're actually friends on Facebook, and I saw you share some of your story. What was that, like 2 years ago, a year or two ago?
It was probably, let me think. I think it was after I finished treatment. So like maybe the beginning of February.
Okay.
Maybe.
Of this year?
Maybe. Yeah.
Why did that seem like so long ago?
Listen, because 2021 is 2020 2.0. That's why.
That's a perfect explanation right there. Well, when I saw that, I was just like, wow, because I don't know you that well, but I know you in passing. And it just goes to show, at least for me, that you never know what somebody's going through.
Mm-hmm.
And with mental health, you can't look at somebody. We always try to look at people. You know, I always use the example, if you're on the street, you see somebody with a sign or something like that, you always try to diagnose people or say, oh, something must be wrong with them. We think that it has a look. So, yeah. So shout out to you for being just open and transparent. What made you do that?
Just kind of to shed light, because like you said, people never really know. Like, they see people and they be like, oh, they're great. They're having a good time. Like, they're loving life. Whole time on the inside or at home, they could be falling apart. So essentially just to let people know, like, it's okay to not be okay.
Yep.
It's okay to get help.
Yeah. So I don't remember everything you shared in that post. I do want to backtrack real quick because I'm getting ahead of myself. Can you introduce yourself to the Soul Tribe family and everybody else, all your supporters, reintroduce yourself to them? Who are you and what do you do?
Who am I? First of all, hey, Bella. Love you too, best. So I am Julita, born and raised 757.
Okay, 7'5".
Till I die, 7'5".
Okay. So for the people that are out of the country, What is 757?
757 is the Hampton Roads area of Virginia. So anything close to the Atlantic Ocean and the bottom right corner of Virginia.
Okay.
I moved to Richmond in 2015 to teach. I was a teacher for 7 years. I just stopped in June, and I just accepted a position with the National PTA based in Alexandria.
So
So
like the PTA, Parent Teacher Association.
yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. We got to talk about that. So, okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you that again later. So just keep that in your head. I'm going to ask you what do you do, but it's going to have a different context later on. Okay. All right. So let's get into what you share on your Facebook that I saw. You talked a little bit about why you shared it. You wanted people to know, like, it doesn't have a face, like, this is me, this is what I've been going through. But what made you feel comfortable sharing, like, in the detail that you share? If you want to tell them what you shared, that probably helped too.
Okay. So, and no, in February, I kind of went over, like, it was kind of like a glaze over, like, my mental health journey and where I had been. And I guess like, I got comfortable enough with it because of my treatment, I guess. I like, it's okay to, like, I own what, like, that part of me, like, I own it. I don't speak it over me and, like, say that's who I am, but I also know that I have to accept it so that I can continue to work through it. So it was just a matter of me giving the people what it was. Like, this is what it is. And I know, especially in the Black community,
Right.
Mental health is a stigma. It's everybody's fine. Everybody can pray everything away. No, we don't need therapy. Yes, we do, people. Listen.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's kind of what made me jump out there.
Okay. Now, I remember when I was creating a flyer for us to do Soul Seed Conversation, I asked you how comfortable you were with, like, what verbiage could I use? What could I put on the flyer, right? And your answer was whatever. Like, you're very open about it. And I love that. I love people that are transparent. And I went live on my personal page earlier just to, encourage people to come. And they coming through. You got a crowd, sis, okay? But I told them, I was like, I named, what we had talked about, because I don't think in that post that you made on your personal page, I don't remember you saying, these are the diagnoses that I have, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't know I didn't know what it was, but I remember seeing what you posted. And I think I commented on it, like, congratulations, like, thanks for being open. We need to see this type of dialogue, right? But it wasn't until I reached out and I asked you, I think I asked you, like, what is it? What's going on, So let's talk about that. Let's get into it.
Okay. Let's rock and roll.
Let's do it.
I know. So, I don't know. Where do you want me to start?
So as far as your diagnosis is, what diagnosis is, am I saying that right? Diagnosis is, do you have?
Hey, Neat. When I was in treatment in December, I was diagnosed with bipolar 1 and PTSD. Officially.
Yeah.
Which is funny because most people looking are like, Julita's fine. Bipolar what? Like, no, but yeah, I was diagnosed with bipolar 1 and PTSD.
Okay.
So that's the general gist of me and my diagnosis.
Okay. So I asked that. I wanted you to say it, number one. And also, I recently went, with the first week in October in Richmond, Virginia, it was named Black Mental Health Week. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yep. So that's a new thing. The governor just coined the first week in October as Black Mental Health Week, which is amazing, right? And I know a girl named Becca Williams that she's a clinician, and she put together a week long of events centered around Black mental health as well during that same week. So I actually went, right? And one of the events was strictly about bipolar and the miseducation of bipolar. And I didn't know about this event until after you and I had talked. So I'm like, yes, I get to go. I get to learn more about this thing. And it was very insightful. And I'm glad you stated which was, if it was bipolar 1 or 2, because they talked about that. They talked about the
Mm-hmm.
miseducation of bipolar just in general, and then how people they don't understand or they mix up one and two. So talk to us about what
Mm-hmm.
bipolar one is.
So yeah, like you said, I'm bipolar one, which means I typically have more manic episodes rather than depressive episodes. Manic being like an elevated, it's essentially like an elevated sense of self. Like typically I get less sleep, but I still feel perfectly fine. Um, I might get some brilliant idea, at least that's what I think at the time, some brilliant idea to
Yeah.
start something new.
Yeah.
But then once I'm not manic, I'm not going to follow through with it. Like, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
I it can also cause you to go on a spending frenzy,
Mm-hmm.
which I have done before.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's kind of like, it's almost like feeling invincible, like super social, even if you're not like a social person, like you're overly
Mm-hmm.
social.
Wow.
Yeah, overly social, like having a blast.
Yeah.
And then obviously a depressive episode is just the opposite, like hard to get out of bed, might not open the blinds, definitely not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Um, don't want to talk to anybody. Like, cool, I'm fine. Let me
Yeah.
be. Let me
Yeah.
be on my couch watching TV with the blinds closed. And sometimes like it gets as bad. Like some people I've gone through when I was like really low. Like I've gone a couple of days, maybe like 3, 4 days, like without showering, just because it's tiring. Like
Right.
everything takes so much effort.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's kind of how bipolar, I guess, looks for me.
For you.
And typically, because everybody's like bipolar, your mood swings. You
Yes.
happy and then you sad and then
Yes.
you're angry and then it doesn't go like
And
that.
I'm so glad that we're able to have this conversation because you are talking about what misconceptions people have, number one, and also what it looks like for you. Because the general consensus, not gonna lie, even from what I've heard, people say, "Oh, bipolar is 1 minute you're this way, next minute you're that way," right? Another thing I learned when I was at the miseducation of the bipolar event was that there are the differences between the one and the two is that there are different time periods where the manic and depression episodes will last. And I'm not going to
Hmm.
quote exactly what I learned because I might have forgot a little bit of it, but I do remember like the manic episodes have to last. We're just gonna throw a number out there. Let's say like 4 days long or something like that for it to be
Yeah.
considered one of them. And then the other one was like it has to last. So I don't even want to get into the numbers because I
Yeah.
don't want to. Yeah.
No, bipolar one, our manic episodes are typically longer. Like it's nothing, it could be nothing like if medication not adjusted or not on medication. Like it's nothing for a manic episode to last. Like you could have a manic episode for like a month.
Right. Yep. That's what they were saying.
Yeah,
Like
you can have a manic
yeah.
episode for like a month.
Yeah.
Especially as bipolar one because our manic episodes are so long.
Yeah.
Bipolar two, their depressive episodes are typically longer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, like it's nothing for a manic episode to ride out, and you'd be like,
Yeah.
well, I'm up here. Like, and the thing is, you become more aware. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like, oh, I know I'm manic, but since I know, like, I know, don't go spend this, don't
Right.
try to do this.
Yes.
So, but it's also a matter of I'm manic. Am I gonna like when am I gonna crash? Like,
Right.
am I gonna crash all the way down? Am I gonna level out? Like,
Right.
and listen, and
So
the crash is hard.
the crash is real.
The
Mm.
crash is hard.
Yeah. So what was it like? Two things. My first thing was it sounds like after you were educated on what was going on, which is why diagnosis is so important, you could understand, okay, when I'm feeling like this and I know I'm manic, I know I'm doing certain things. Now that you have the education, it's like, all right, I'm gonna hold back that impulse on going to go spend or going to go do whatever. So it sounds like that helped you out a little bit once you learned what was going on and how it affected you.
Yeah. It also kind of brought insight to things that I had done in the past, like why, like, oh, I didn't realize this was actually a pattern. Like, okay, this is a thing. Hey, Shimiana. Um, and yeah, so it's like, okay, like now I know why I did that. Now that I'm on medication, let me try not to do that. Like, so yeah, it just makes me a whole lot more aware
Yeah.
of what I need to do and what I should try to do versus
Right.
what I really, really want to do.
Right. 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 So my second question, because we talked about medication. So what is the medication actually helping to manage? I don't know if that is, does that make sense?
Um, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
My medication is a mood stabilizer. Um, so essentially it tries to keep me rolling even as opposed to I'm manic, I'm depressed, I'm gonna ride out this manic, I'm gonna drop down to depressed. Like, so it kind of keeps me on a regular path. Like,
Yes.
okay, I'm gonna be steady, and it's like I'm happy, but I'm not overly happy, or
Yeah.
I'm not like, let me do XYZ, let me go spend all my money. No, I'm chilling like the regular person. Like, let me go to the store, let me get what I need to get,
Yeah.
let me leave.
Yeah.
So yeah, so mine is a mood stabilizer just to kind of get me right. Come on,
Yeah.
Tim's Alexa. I'm
Yeah.
weak.
I saw that in the comments too. So
Yeah,
it
that's
kept,
an
it keeps you balanced.
anti-anxiety meds. Yeah, it
Yes.
does.
It keeps you
That's
balanced.
exactly what it does. It
Now,
keeps,
mhm.
yeah, it levels me out real good.
Have you had to go through like different dosages? Like, okay, maybe it's too high, maybe it's too low, maybe we got to try something else.
Yes. Honestly, my meds just got regulated probably within the last 2 months.
Okay.
Um, and I mean, and it's hard. Like, I started this medication process in December.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so it becomes like it's a whole trial. Like, when I started in December, because you can't just jump full in, you have to like work your way up the dosage. So when I started in December, I was at 50 milligrams,
Okay.
and then like 2 weeks later they would raise you to 100, and so
Okay.
it was like a 2 week process to like get you where you were. Mind you, at this time I was in a partial hospitalization program because things had just gone left.
Yeah.
So I saw a psychiatrist like once to
Hmm.
twice a week while I was in that program, which is where
Hmm.
my diagnosis came from.
Got it.
So she originally was the one who was balancing out my meds. When I was finished, I got my own psychiatrist who I
Hmm.
go to regularly. Um, and so she just kind of continued. And, we stayed in the middle for some time, and it was like, I would stay here for some time. But then, like, 4 days out of one week, I was like, I don't want to do anything. Like, I'm
Yeah.
crying. Um,
Yeah. Somebody
and
said figuring out
so,
meds, the struggle is real.
yes, it's
Hey,
so real.
Danny.
And so, yeah, like I said, it took me from December to like August, September to
Wow.
really find the right balance
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was going to keep me not dropping, but also not, yeah,
Yeah.
the balance aspect. It's literally like a scale.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so we just got my meds with the dosage right, probably within the last couple of months. I mean, in that, like, it's tiring. Like, I saw my psychiatrist like once a month.
Right.
Like, it was either once a month or every 6 weeks. It was never anything long because she wanted to see if the dosage was right, and if
Right.
it wasn't, we'll scoot up. If it so, yeah, I have an
Interesting.
appointment with her next week to make sure everything is still working.
Right. Just to check in and see how things are doing, if you need to adjust anything else.
Yeah.
So Coach Sheen said it took me personally trying two other meds before Celexa. So these are really important
Yes.
conversations to have. It's
Yes.
like when people talk about therapy, go to therapy, go to therapy. It's like sensationalized now. I'm glad that the conversation is at the forefront, but talk about what happens behind the scenes. Sometimes you may go to a therapist and the vibe ain't right. The person doesn't have
Yeah.
cultural competency, or you may
Yeah.
prefer to work with somebody that looks like you. Maybe they're a woman, maybe they're black, because you just don't have to explain certain
Hmm.
things. So when
Yeah.
you talking about seeing your psychiatrist and going in doing these checks to make sure like the dosages are where they need to be, this is what people
Hmm.
need to hear about. So I appreciate you for being honest about that. And then Coach
Listen,
Shame in the comments too. Like, yeah, it happens.
And because I'm friends with Sheen, so listen. I was riding her medication wave with her.
Yes.
And yes, Sheen, give
She
me a
said, give me
black
a black
lady.
lady. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much. Yes, thank you
I
so
love
much.
it. I'm loving this
And
conversation.
my therapist and my psychiatrist are both Black females.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
I
made
mean,
it a point that my therapist was a Black female. Like I don't.
yeah. Yeah. Things that you don't, our
Yeah, but no,
experiences come,
therapy is hard.
yeah. Finding that person can be hard sometimes. And then having to go and restart the
You
initial
have to give
conversation.
yourself Yes, you have to give yourself options. I mean, and it's a matter of, okay, let me list like these six from the jump. Like, in case I don't like this one, let me go.
Yes.
So you kind of have options, but you always know, like, going in, you're like, I might not like this one, but you still approach it like open minded because it's like, I need to know what, if you really gonna understand. So
If you really gonna
it's just
understand.
like, yeah, like it's, you can always feel the energy. Like it's a thing of like when you run across anybody, you can always tell like their energy or what have you. And you're like,
Yes.
vibe not gonna work, vibe gonna
Yeah, yeah, it's
work.
the vibe for me.
Yes.
I will share this. I had a therapist that initially I misjudged her. I said, she ain't gonna understand. I ain't gonna learn that from her. All this stuff. I stuck with the lady. I said, let me go again. I'm gonna go again. And you don't. This is my personal opinion. I don't think that first, unless you just get a
Mm-mm.
strong, visceral response, and you like, no, no, no. I understand that, but sometimes you do have to just stick it out and go one, two more
Yes.
times. Because this lady ended up helping me really cope through one of the toughest moments in my life. I had a friend that was involved in a murder-suicide situation. She helped me cope
Mm.
through that.
Yeah.
And I would have given up everything I learned from her had I just been like, nope, we ain't vibing. So I do want to make that a point as well. I'm gonna read some of the comments real quick. Chelsea Jackson says that part, working with someone who gets you holistically is essential.
Yes.
Yes, Coach
Yes.
Sheen said trying to explain trauma to a white person is traumatic within itself. It definitely can be if they
Yeah,
haven't.
it can.
Yeah, people that haven't
Like,
walked your experience, and like it's really tough trying to get them to understand something. Even
mm-hmm.
those same people sometimes don't even understand the concept of racism in 2021. That's tough. I don't want to have that as a barrier in a therapist's office, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Quita said my white therapist had savior syndrome. But
she said, but
man, did
man,
she
did she
dig
dig through
through?
my childhood
Yeah.
trauma. That's Quita. Thank you for sharing that because two
Yeah.
things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
I needed her for what she did. Yes, yes. So
Mm-hmm.
it's two sides to the coin, right? So I'm glad we're talking about
It
that
is.
part of it. If you guys have any questions for myself or for Julita or Jolita,
Either one.
which one your mama say?
My mother, see, as I've gotten older, listen, because I done got real lazy. When I was little and walked into school, I was like, my name's Julita. Now I'm like, my name's Julita.
With the T, Julita.
Right. Now
I
I'm
just
like,
want to
my
know if
name's Julita.
is it Jew or Ja?
So technically it's Jew. Um, like I said, I a lot of people do call me Jew though
Okay, Jew.
instead of my whole name.
Jew.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I got it. So Coach Sheen says, but thank God for therapy meds and the gym. Yeah, that holistic practice, all of that into one, it
Coach
matters.
Coach
And great
Sheen
friends.
she's also a gym rat. So uh don't go to the gym with Sheen because she might kill you.
You know, I think I know one of her good friends, and I've seen her on her live before, and I went and checked out her Instagram. I said, you be working out. I might have to join the girl. I
Yes,
might.
listen, now don't get me wrong. I enjoy working out with Sheen. I love her to death. But she also knows I might cuss at you at the same time. But it's not out of harm. I just
That ain't
see,
your
so like she
ministry.
said, pull up. Nah, like
Oh Lord,
I'm like, I still love you, but
what I done got myself into? You know, we'll talk about that later. So we have some different commentary, which I am loving this real quick. Danny says, I'm a white girl and just got put with a black female psychiatrist. And I feel like she's the first person that's actually listened to me instead of just made assumptions.
mm-hmm.
Drop the mic. Thank
And
you.
yeah, because that's a big thing too. Like, don't assume what I'm going like, don't assume. Like, I need you to listen. I need you to know what the deal is so you can really do what I need you to do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Danny, I'm glad you shared that. That's good. That's good. We need to hear, because I think people get caught up on rhetoric a lot. People get caught up on theories a lot. But no, we need real life examples of what's really going on out here. So who would have ever thought that a white girl is going to come on here and say, I have a black therapist and I truly feel seen and heard by her. And I have the lady Mecca we were talking about earlier. She shared at that one of the mental health events that most of her clients are white. And I'm like, wow. In my head, I'm like, I wonder what made them choose her. Not because she's not worthy or good or anything like that, but, you know, did they get paired with her or did they intentionally seek out a black person? So, yeah, I'm going far left. But those are thoughts that come to my head.
Listen, I understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
so
we do need the truth. We need the truth.
We need the truth with the double O. Okay. I want to make sure before I move on to something else that it's not anything that you want to share specifically.
I don't even know what I've shared so far. So
I'm feeling good?
Listen, I know, I know you're going to hit it. We had a nice talk. So I know you jotted down things because I did not.
No, it's all good. I mean, for the most part, I wanted to flow, but like I said earlier, some stuff I get off the line. I'm like, dang, I forgot to say that. So I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I understand.
Can we slide into the PTSD portion?
Sure.
Okay.
We can.
Got it.
My PTSD. Let's see. My PTSD. So in 2016, I hadn't quite been in Richmond for a year. It was probably like 3 or 4 months shy of a year. I was sexually assaulted in my house by someone who was a friend of mine from back home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that obviously, that sent my mental into a frenzy. But back then I was only diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. So I was only taking medication for anxiety. That kind of hit. That was like a bump. That was a big old bump. It was kind of like my car got crashed and I was just laying there on the side of the road watching.
Wow.
So
girl,
that is
go ahead, I'm listening.
Listen, no, I have, like, it took me a long time to get here where I can be like, okay, let me talk about it. Because before I was just like, nothing happened, I'm fine. Like, it's okay. Yeah, Sheen knows because Sheen was there. I stressed. But literally nobody knew. Like, I picked up, I was still volunteering at church. I still walked around with a smile on my face. Like everything was cool.
Wow.
But yeah, so that happened then. And so obviously like different things started to trigger that. And it wasn't until I really started therapy like last September and like really tuned in with like the therapist that I have, that we were talking about it. Cause like random things will trigger me. And it's not always a manner of like, I'm watching SVU and that whole situation is triggering me. It doesn't even have to be that. Like I can be walking somewhere and if I feel like somebody's like too close in my bubble, I can feel my heart start to speed up. Like, I'm like, what are we doing? And so I'll be like, okay. Like I went home for homecoming a couple years ago. And I had my sunglasses on because outside, and homecoming, you don't ever know what might happen. I need people not to see my eyeballs. Okay. So had my sunglasses on, but the guy and his, I guess now or then girlfriend walked up and stood behind me to get into the tailgate. And cause like I had my glasses on and I glanced and I was like, I know it's not.
And then had a nerve to come and stand behind me. You
stand behind me.
Listen, you should have told your girlfriend, I think we need to go in this line over here. Something. Girl.
I was be like, look, because I was like, but I would be wrong if I turned around and was like, your boyfriend,
exactly.
And I was like, you know what?
The audacity.
I was like, I'm gonna just get out of line. I'm gonna take myself on a walk. I'm gonna mind my business because I don't need you seeing where I'm going. I don't need
Girl,
to know
wow.
where. None of that. I don't
Wow.
need any of that. And like I can most recently I can say I was at my house chilling. It was like me, three of my friends on the couch watching something, that movie with Beyonce, that
I
bad
didn't
acting.
like that
But
movie. That movie triggered the mess out of me within like the
um
first 10 minutes. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't even remember the name of it.
I know exactly
I
what movie.
Yeah, the white girl and all this stuff. She trying to get her husband. Yeah, that
That
movie.
movie was a
Yep,
trigger for
that's it, Bella.
me.
Obsessed, obsessed. There we
Yes.
go. Thank you, Bella. And one of the scenes, it was when he was on that business conference and the white lady had drugged him. And so when he got back to his hotel room, like she was there and was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do XYZ." And I was like, "No." I was like, "That's not him wanting it. That's called rape." Like, and that was what it was. Like, that's called rape. And when I tell you I lost it at that moment, like burst into tears, sobbing on my couch, um,
Mm.
sobbing on my couch, and like it was like literally like a wave, like just, and I couldn't do anything about it. I was like, well, I cried my tears. But after that, it was like I wasn't myself. Like I had cried, but then it was kind of like I was watching myself
Yep.
like sit on the couch and zone out. Like
Mm.
one of my friends was like, Julita, and I was like, like
Mm.
that's all I got for you. I got nothing. So,
Wow.
Kiera, yeah, okay. So about the press charges thing. So, first of all, it took me like 2 days to tell my parents or anybody. I got up, I went to work the next day, went to work another day, um, and wanted to make sure I wasn't blowing it up in my head. So I sent like a general situation to
Mm.
my best friend at the time. I sent it to him, and he was like, "Well, Julita, that's rape. Like, what the hell?" And I was like, "Okay." So then I was like, I should probably tell my mom. And so I sent her the same text message. And so she went off at the text message, and I was like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Yeah, that was me." Great. So,
Mm.
and like I told her when I talked to her on the phone, I was like, "I can't call daddy." Cause
Yeah.
like I cannot call my like when I tell you like girl dad to the fullest, like no, I was like I can't call him.
Yeah.
And so she called him. He left work. They came up here to meet me. My principal at the time was like, "Go home, handle what you need to handle. Don't come tomorrow." Like
Your principal
it
at
was
your
just
at
a
your
matter.
job where you worked at.
Yeah, when I was
Yeah.
teaching, yeah, he was like, "Go home, do what you got to do. Don't come tomorrow." Um, so I went to the big police station at Parham, and talked to an officer there. Had to describe him. I knew what kind of car he drove, and so the police officer pulled him up on those big old computers they got, those big old laptops, and he turned it around to me and was like, "Is this him?" And I was like, "Yeah." But as it was coming, my dad storming from behind me, like, "What does this man look like?" And I was like, "Sir, please turn the computer back around because
Yeah.
I know my daddy will lose it. He will go
Yeah.
find this man." Like,
Yeah.
so time here, no, I did not want to press charges because I didn't want to go through court. Like I just didn't want to do it. It was like I was just like, this is draining. Ended up once like my whole situation was out, the Commonwealth's attorney was like, "We have a case, we're taking it to court." And it was a matter of if the Commonwealth's attorney had decided to press the charges, I was
Right.
going to be subpoenaed just like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So that I did end up doing that. From the time of the incident into court, it was an 11-month process.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah.
Wow.
So yes, I did end up pressing charges.
Was he convicted?
No. And that's exactly what I was about to get to next. Um, he was not, because when you have a pool of jurors who don't look like you, um, and, you know, who typically love America a whole lot more than we do. When you get up on the stand and tell the people that you're in the military and you fight for the country, and
does he play sports? And I'm not trying to be, did he play sports or anything?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But I do know,
That's crazy.
he was in the military. But what they also didn't know is that he was being released from the military because military police ended up having to get involved when he didn't return the phone calls to my detective. So literally my life was like an episode of SVU. Like, I'm sitting here like, I was like, this is crazy.
You know, and I want to clarify the statement I made about, I asked if he was an athlete because, like you said, you comment about him being in the military. And I've noticed that white people love black people that play sports and that are entertainers, right? So they get off, not all, I'm just saying the people that have done these things that happen to be military or happen to be entertainers or sports, you know, we ignore some things. I just want to clarify that, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, it does happen to military women a lot. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, so many military men get off on things like that. So, like, it was just a matter of, oh, okay. But yeah, it was an 11-month process. My life was an episode of SVU, but no, he didn't call my detective back. And she gave him like a month. And then she told me, if he doesn't reply, she was like, I'm gonna have to go to the base, and then I'm gonna have to get military police involved. And I was like, okay, this has become an entire situation. And so, like, it's so weird, like, because you watch SVU and you're like, this cannot be real life.
Yeah.
Like, I know they added drama to it. I know, like, all of this, but it was crazy because, like, my detective, she was great. Okay, she was great. She was a boss, like Olivia Benson. And I loved everything about her. She was like real life Olivia Benson, but her style was like Ellen DeGeneres. Listen, we had a whole great situation. Like, hey girl, but yeah, she told me after she had called him the first time that they were on the phone and she mentioned my name. She was like, you know something, and he was like, I don't know her. Like, he blatantly told her, he was like, I don't know her.
No, sir.
And then and then by the end of the conversation with her, he was like, yeah, I might know her, da da da. And he was like, I'm gonna call you back. And never called her back.
Of course.
So so a month later, she went to the base and military police were there, and she was like, do you want to do a DNA swab? And they were like, he doesn't have a choice, he belongs to the country. Wow. Like, yeah, so he had to do a DNA swab. He had to do a lie detector test. However, lie detector tests are not admissible in court. Just gonna toss that out there. They're not admissible in court. So even though he bombed his lie detector test, like bombed it, he bombed it so bad that he called my detective back into the room and was like, okay, can I write her an apology letter or whatever? And I was like, that's interesting. She was like, I'm not even going to show it to you. She was like, because honestly, she was like, it's a bunch of bull.
Wow.
Like, she was just like, it's a bunch of bull. My Commonwealth's attorney was a black man. So, you know, he was on 1,000. Like, let's rock and roll.
Yeah. And he probably could see his daughter or somebody else in you. So he fought for that.
Yeah. So, yeah, he was amazing. And his case, I'm not even gonna lie, it was locked down. But the guy also was not originally taking the stand. He wasn't gonna take the stand, in which case he definitely would have come through then, because the Commonwealth's attorney blew the apology letter up to like poster size and had it sitting on a tripod. And that was the first time I saw it. And this was during closing arguments. Like, this was the first time I saw it. And I'm reading it from a distance and I'm like, what?
Wow.
Yeah. It was,
That's a lot. And then
yeah,
having
it
to
was crazy.
relive that and go through that 11-month process, I can understand why that
Yes.
contributes to your PTSD diagnosis. Like,
Yes. So yeah, like random things now or send me on a frenzy, but I also know like better now, like coping mechanisms
yes.
and what have you. So,
And clearly,
so yes,
you're,
I do still get triggered.
of course, of course.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep.
Cope, and deal with the effects of being triggered. It could be a certain scent, it could be a sound, it could be a
Mhm.
song, a movie. I can't watch TV. I don't even
Yeah.
watch a lot of these movies. My friends be like, "You an old lady." Honestly, a lot of that content is very disturbing, and I don't even understand how some people can
Yeah.
sit through it. But that really speaks to, oh, you breaking up, or am I breaking up? Can you see me? Oh, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay. I don't know what
Yes.
happened, but it speaks to our ability to be able to consume and digest certain things. And some people watch the same thing and can't sit through it. That really speaks to, listen, I can't watch nothing no more. I understand. It speaks to the difference in our
Yes.
mental health and like in our sensitivities too, because some people just can't watch certain stuff. Some people can't hear
Well,
certain things. So
and the thing about it is, because I'm a Law and Order SVU junkie, like that was
mm,
my show. I got down with SVU. Like I love me some Olivia Benson. Listen, back in the day, I loved Stabler. Like, listen, that was my like I was connected. Okay. After all that happened, I was like, I'm not watching this. My life was a whole episode. Like, what? And so I didn't watch SVU for a few years. I literally watched my first yeah, I watched my first episode of SVU probably earlier this year. That was like the first time since 2016 I had watched it. Um, and even now, like, because I usually record things on my DVR and watch them later because I hate commercials. Um, and so if my mom has watched it, I'll be like, can I fade the episode? Because like she knows, like there was an episode a couple weeks ago. It started and like things were going, and then like they were talking about the guy he was gonna get off because he had friends here, and I was like, I can't watch this. Like I was just like, I'm gonna turn this off. And
yeah,
I called my mom and was like, can I finish this? And she was like, no, don't watch it. I said,
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Like, listen, you got to know. I was just like, I can't watch this episode. Cool.
Yes, yes. And that's real life for a lot of people. But people are like, oh, you can't watch this. Oh, you a punk. Listen, the way I get it. I get it. I do have one question.
hmm
You said that you went to school in Richmond, right?
No, I did not go to school in Richmond.
Oh, okay. You came
I
for
I
work.
went to school back home. Yes, I was work. Yeah, I came up here to teach. Yeah,
Okay.
I did. I taught 1 year back home, and then I came up here.
Okay.
So, yeah.
The I don't know if it's a lag now, but let me know. But the reason why I ask is because people start to
Mm-mm. Yeah. Most of the time, like especially when I got diagnosed with bipolar. Oh, can you hear me? It might be a lag now. Hello. Yeah, they were like, it's usually bipolar. I, um,
Okay, I'm back.
I'm weak. So I bipolar. They said like the onset is usually like early 20s, late teens.
Mm,
But and like literally when they say late teens, they mean like 18, 19.
okay.
But usually like early 20s. And I was like, huh, that's crazy. Because like once they told me, I could think back to different things
Yeah.
in my 20s. And I was like, dang, that is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to bring that up because, of course, we want to talk about awareness, right? And I learned
Mm-hmm.
some of this stuff at the Black Mental Health Week. I learned that sometimes you can be quote unquote normal and not having experienced any mental health episodes, right? And then you have a big change in your life, a major change,
Mm-hmm.
major transition, i.e., in your early 20s or mid 20s, or even younger, actually younger than that. I don't know what I'm talking about, younger. You go to school, you go to
Yeah.
college, you're without your parents for the first time. You know, your parents are your support system, your loving system, right? And some people, they experience things, having that pressure and going to school and different opinions and which club am I going to belong to? Boys and girls, you know, all this stuff. I'm on my own. I got to pay bills or whatever dorm life is like. That can be a lot for people. And you have things like assault that happens on campus. Shout out to
Mm-hmm.
the Fem Focus that just joined. She does amazing work. And I don't know what exactly, I don't want to mess it up, but she talks about DV, domestic violence, and interrelationship violence, and she works at Spelman. She, you know, she has
Mm.
a whole division where she's educating people
Love it.
at school about that, and it's so important because a lot of
Love
this
it.
stuff happens on college campuses,
Yeah.
and everybody keeps quiet about it. You were talking about what contributed to your PTSD, the fact that you've been diagnosed with PTSD and the root cause of it is something that happened from a trusted person, and like other people, something that happened on campus with somebody very close to them or somebody they didn't know. These things have long-term effects on people, you know, and some people don't make it to
Yes.
trial and, you know, get to, have somebody held accountable for what they did. Some people never say a word, and then years go past, and now they're 30 and 40, and they're dealing with issues, mental health things, and sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
forget. Sometimes you literally compartmentalize what's happened to you, and you put it somewhere in the back of your brain, and then you have a trigger one day in your mid 20s or 30s and 40s, and then you're having
Yes.
a breakdown or something like that. So this mental health thing is very real, and that's why I always encourage people like what you've been doing, Julita, is just being transparent. Why are we acting like we're
Mm-hmm.
not humans and sometimes we malfunction because of things that have happened to us? It is okay
Mm-hmm.
to be in mental distress. It's not okay to stay there because it's not healthy for us, but it is a
Right.
normal reaction to the things that we experience in life. So I just
Without a
had to
doubt.
say that. I had to say that. I
Yeah.
want to keep this under 1 hour. So we have about 7 minutes. So I do want to ask you something. And I want to keep it under 1 hour for multiple reasons. One, because I think if it goes over, I can't save it and put it on Facebook. I'm still learning about all of this stuff. So I want to ask you, what do you do now, ma'am? And that means, how are you taking care of yourself? What does self-care and self-love look like for Julia? What are you doing that is helping you to thrive with PTSD and bipolar 1 disorders?
um, I still go to therapy. Um, Usually like every other week, unless something changing is coming up. Like when I was interviewing for different jobs, I was going every week. Like I need to let this out. So I still go to therapy. Like I mentioned earlier, I still see my psychiatrist. However many months I would go with that. Um, I had to become really comfortable at boundaries. Um, Boundaries are a big thing. How long I hang out with people, what people I hang out with, how much I let people in. Like it's all, and like boundaries are going to be different. Like you're not going to have the same boundaries like for your parents as you do for your friends, as you do for people you're only associated with, and what have you. So she said, If you upload from your computer, you can save longer videos up to 2. See, Chelsea be knowing, okay?
I must be
Chelsea,
really behind because I don't see any of that yet, honey. I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi.
Chelsea, listen, Chelsea be knowing what is up. She is my tech. She is the tech go-to, okay?
Okay, so I'm gonna keep
Um,
that in mind. So if I upload it from my computer, I can upload longer videos on YouTube. I mean, on
okay, so yeah, so
I
what
can't,
she's saying is log into Instagram on your computer
and I
and
can.
upload it there on Facebook. Yep.
Well, see, the issue is I haven't
Okay,
been able
girl.
to save them to my phone. I don't know why I can't see the chat anymore. I can't save them to my phone anymore. If it's over an hour, I don't know, and it's not a storage issue. I thought it was, but anyway, I don't want to. Thank you, Chelsea.
No, you're fine.
um,
Chelsea,
okay.
can you do that from your from the lives that you save as Instagram videos? Listen, I know Chelsea got the answer. So,
Chelsea, you
um,
DM me, sister. DM me. Help me out because I can't see the
but
comment section anymore.
yes, boundaries are important.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing my limits.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there'll be weeks where I can socialize with my friends on a daily basis, but it's also not for extended amount of time.
Right.
And I love my friends. Like, I can shoot my friends a text message, and I can send my friends a text message on like Monday and be like, I'm gonna hide out for this week, and like it's fine. Like, they get it.
Yeah.
They'll send me a text back and be like, we'll still be here, blah blah blah. Like, I can text and whatnot. But when I pick back up, like, it's like nothing ever happened to miss a beat. Like, I will text during the week when I shut down. I'm just like, I gotta chill because I done too much and I gotta recharge.
Yeah.
Um, I typically do stuff that I know are gonna I know are gonna make me happy or like keep me, like, I craft a lot. That's
Mm.
that's my thing. I dance at church. I also tap from time to time.
Okay.
Like, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Those are
Come on, black
like
girls who
those are
tap.
things.
I'm here
Oh
for it.
yeah, I've been doing that since I was 3.
Love it.
Um I mean, just different things that I like to do. And I mean, it could even be, let me sit down at night and put my feet up on my coffee table while I watch something with a glass of wine. Like, it's fine. It's like, it's just time for me to chill with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
um so yeah, I mean, that's where I am now. Like, therapy, psychiatrist, meds, relax time for me, realizing my limits, setting boundaries with people, the people that you love, because you still got to have boundaries.
That's right. I'm here
Um,
for it. I'm so here for it. It
yeah.
sounds like you're very in touch with yourself. You're very okay with having to
Okay,
say.
Bella. Yes, I do love catfish. Chill, bro.
Your
Chill.
friends are in here telling on you,
I
and
listen.
They
They don't
supportive,
care.
but they
They
gonna
don't
talk your ish.
care.
I love it.
I do love catfish, but the last like couple weeks I have been binging on The Nanny from season 1, episode 1,
Oh, wait, the
and
nanny from back
I
in the
am on
day,
the
the nanny.
last season now. Yes, HBO Max has all of the seasons. Just thought I'd toss.
So it's a lot of self-care up in there, a lot of communication up in there, a lot of understanding, a lot of support. And we did talk on the phone about your parents being a really big support system. You've been able to take
Yes,
some time off for a while, for a few months from work to just relax and reset. And I definitely didn't want us
yes,
to stop talking and not talk about that because that is so important. And a lot of
yes,
people don't have that luxury and that privilege. And it
yeah.
shouldn't even be a luxury. It should just be a birthright. Honey, I need to take a break. But these bills got to get
Mm-hmm.
paid. Like,
Got to.
your mental health is so crazy. I just hope that things change in the future, that somebody got to take a break. Listen, because literally, if I don't, my mind, my health, my body, my spirit, everything is on the line. So shout out to your parents.
And shout out to RPS. Shout out to Jason Cameras because he gave them the whole week, the first week of November off for the teachers' mental health. Listen, I'm here for it. Like, thank you.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
shout out to him. He did that last night. That is
Wait,
phenomenal. Like,
is that
I'm
for
glad
everyone?
he realizes. Yeah, Richmond City, their public schools are closed the first week of November.
For all of the teachers to just chill out.
Yes,
Is it
yes.
every year? Or is it just like for right now?
No, he just did it this year. He was like, this school year is hard. He was like, it's harder than anything.
Anything.
So anything. And he was like, we were already out these 2 days. I'm gonna add these 3 with it. And I was like, listen,
Listen.
I'm here for it.
We need more people at the top in all high places who get it. And I can't wait to
Mm-hmm.
see what our future looks like, because I feel like the job structure is going to change soon. The schools, I mean, COVID came to disrupt some stuff, and it did in a major way. And there are some things that have to be reconstructed for us to continue to live with our mental health and mental wellness at the
Yeah.
forefront. So shout out to Jason, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to share before we go, ma'am?
I don't think so. I don't got nothing. Listen, my friends chime in for everything else. I'm surprised they're not saying nothing else.
Where
No,
y'all at?
I know. I don't think I got anything left to say.
Well,
If y'all want to talk anytime, listen, I'm here for the people. You need help with anything, you kind of just want to drop stuff off, you can shoot me a DM. My Instagram is private. I will approve you following me though. So it's fine. But yeah,
I love it.
it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. It's also very okay to get help.
Tell the people, honey.
Very
Tell
okay.
the people. I love to
Very,
hear that. I love to hear from you. I need other people that have PTSD or bipolar 1 or 2 or any other mental health condition. I need them to hear you
yes,
specifically say that.
yes.
You are
It is.
getting better. You're on the road to recovery. You talked about some painful truths today and you didn't get triggered. You ain't cry, honey. I'm over here about to cry for you. But that just shows.
Listen, I told you it took me some time, but
Yes.
5 years
Yes.
later, here we are.
And that's what I want to commend you on. Clearly, whatever you and your therapist and your psychologist, your psychiatrist, whatever y'all are doing, listen, I'm just glad that you had the time to sit down and do it. Okay.
Yes. Listen, because I mean it was bumpy. I missed a month and a half of work this past school year
Yeah.
because like I had to check out. I was on
Yeah.
medical leave. I missed a month of work. Like I said, I was in a partial hospitalization program for like 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I did an outpatient program for like 3 weeks, all
Mm-hmm.
because I had lost my shit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Period.
I
Listen, it happens.
was on the deep end. Like
Listen,
we
life is
we are
hard.
drowning. We are
Yes, life
drowning.
is hard. COVID is out here. Don't care who you are, what your name is, where you're
Mm-mm.
from, what you do. Mental health, same thing. These
Yes.
conditions don't care who you are, what you do, how much money you make. And then, we're all going through it. And I just cannot imagine being an educator, having whatever personal things you've already had go on. You got to go and teach the little leaders of America. You know what I mean?
Listen.
You have the stress of COVID just in general. And then with school and those changes, those kids are going through it just like the
Yes.
adults are going through it. So it's a lot. So thank
Yes.
you for
It's
what
so
you
much.
do.
But
Yeah.
yes, it's okay to not be okay. And it's even more okay to go to therapy to figure out. Listen, you can call a psychiatrist and get a whole workup.
Yeah.
They're gonna talk to you about a lot of stuff. They also gonna write notes about a lot of stuff. And they'll let you know you need this, you diagnosed with this. Cause I mean they're medical doctors just trained in the mental.
Yeah.
So
And I'm glad you made
um
that distinction. The
yes,
psychiatrist is who is going to prescribe medication. And
yes,
then your psychologist or your therapist or your counselor, they use interchangeably. They have different certifications
yeah.
and things like that. But those are the people you're going to talk to.
Yeah, without a doubt. You can talk to them all the time. They're amazing. Like you can talk to them. I know a lot of them are like social work and whatnot, but they, yeah, you talk to them. My psychiatrist is the medical doctor. They went to med school. They did all that cool stuff. And they handle the medication aspect of it all.
Yes. And you also
So
talk to them
essentially,
too.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you do. You have to talk to them, especially like in the beginning, because they're gonna know what you need to be diagnosed with. Like they're the ones who diagnose you all day. So tune into that if you need that. Listen, you can tap into it.
Yeah. Tell the people, girl. Tell the
Listen, I
people.
can listen. I can recommend some folks. Okay,
Okay,
like
so listen, if I mean Julita has already said if y'all message her, if you want to follow her, she's a resource. Reach out to her. You know that she's somebody that knows what you're going through. If you're going through, if you have a family member, you got some questions, you need a referral, hit her up. I'm glad that she offered that. So
yeah.
I appreciate you. And I do want to share one last thing for everybody that made it to the end, anybody that watches this replay, we have a special code, and it is, what's the code?
Julita.
So it's JULITA. If you enter that
Yeah.
in as a promo code when you're shopping on our website for all of our affirmation apparel, you'll get 10% off. And that code is up and available. And I hope you all get to shop. We have necklaces, we have our hat. I didn't show y'all. I put it on for a brief second. Let me switch out my hat real quick. We got
Come
this
on.
brand new hat as well. I got to adjust it, but you know. And then this new Pack Light shirt for the adults. And then we have children's shirts. This black shirt is not on the website yet, y'all. So sign up on our email list to get emails for when it drops. Look at this little cute baby t-shirt. We got taller t-shirts and youth t-shirts. So I want to thank you, Julita. I want to thank you for being a thriver. I want to thank you for doing your work and being brave and sticking through what you're going through, honey, and just being available to talk with me and everybody else about this. I'm so glad you said yes. This was amazing. I love that your friends came through and they were so supportive. I love that the Soul Tribe came through and was so supportive. You got a lot of love in the comment section. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of love
Yes.
after the replay. So I just want to thank you.
Thank you.
I just,
Listen,
there are no more words.
thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
you are
Look.
absolutely welcome. So Danny says thank you, and you're getting some love. So I appreciate it. I hope y'all love this. We're going to do this every single month. So I have somebody already lined up for the month of November. She's actually a therapist. She used to be a therapist, and now she's no longer a therapist, and she had to go through some things. So you're going to hear from a therapist's point of view, their mental health struggles. That's going to be interesting. So we'll see y'all next month, and I will talk to y'all on the internet street somewhere. Y'all go shop this affirmation apparel. Thank you, Julita, and I hope you have a bomb day, sis. Take care of
Thank
yourself
you.
and stay well. Peace, y'all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.